Let's continue our look at Tasha's Cauldron of Everything by looking at the Cleric. Now there are some new Cleric features and there's 3 new domains. So we'll look at the first one here called the Order domain. So right here at the beginning they give us just some general information, nothing up here. And then they talk about additional Cleric spells. When you look at how few Cleric spells are given right here, I'm surprised they didn't offer much more. Cleric, with all the spells it already has, and you think about all the many different things that they can do in support, I would have thought they could come up with much more than this. I expected triple this with Cleric, but we have what we've got. So notice how there's nothing as far as cantrip first or second. So at 3rd level, they've added Aura Vitality and Spirit Shroud. We'll look at this towards the end of the video. 4th level, Aura of Life and Aura of Purity. 5th level, Summon Celestial. 6th level, Sunbeam, 8th, Sunburst, and 9th, Power Word Heal. So still some good spells right there. So they tell you at 2nd level, the Cleric's going to get Harness Divine Power. You can expend a use of your Channel Divinity to fuel your spells. As a bonus action, it's always great. You touch your holy symbol, utter a prayer, and regain 1 expended spell slot. How nice is that? Always get back those spell slots you never got enough of. The level of which can be tell us right here, higher than half your proficiency bonus rounded up. Now that's good. They usually round things down, but of course here it's rounded up. The number of times you can use this feature is based on the level you've reached in this class. 2nd level once, 6th level twice, 18th level 3 times. And you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So they've added something else here at 4th level, Cantrip Versatility. Whenever you reach a level in this class that grants the Ability Score Improvement feature, you can replace 1 cantrip you learn from this class's spellcasting feature with another cantrip from the Cleric spell list. So let you swap out some cantrips, always nice to do right there. At 8th level Cleric, they've added Blessed Strikes. You are blessed with divine might in battle. When a creature takes damage from one of your cantrips or weapon attacks, you can also deal 1d8 radiant damage to that creature. Once you deal this damage, you can't use this feature again until the start of your next turn. So an extra 1d8 per turn, not bad. And then they get into the new domains right here, which remember with Cleric, you get them at 1st level. That's outstanding. A lot of these classes, you don't get them till 3rd. So we start right here with the Order domain. The Order domain represents discipline as well as devotion to the laws that govern a society, an institution, or a philosophy. Clerics of Order meditate on logic and justice, sound like Vulcans there, as they serve their gods, examples of which appear in the Order deities table. Clerics of Order believe that well-crafted laws establish legitimate hierarchies, and those selected by law to lead must be obeyed. Those who obey must do so to the best of their ability, and if those who lead fail to protect the law, they must be replaced. Sounds like a very rigid society. In this manner, law weaves a web of obligations that create order and security in a chaotic multiverse. So here they've got their Order deities. There are examples and the pantheons right out beside them. So they tell you domain spells here. So under this particular domain, at 1st level, the Clerics will pick up Command and Heroism. At 3rd, they'll get Hold Person and Zone of Truth. At 5th, Mass Healing Word and Slow. 7th, Compulsion and Locate Creature. And at 9th, Commune and Dominate Person. So always good to have more spell options available to you. Nothing unusual about that. Also at 1st level in this domain, bonus proficiencies. You gain proficiency with heavy armor. How nice is that? Anytime you can up your AC, that's usually a good thing. You also gain proficiency in the Intimidation or Persuasion skill, your choice. Also at 1st level, Voice of Authority. Lots of stuff gained here. You can invoke the power of law to embolden an ally to attack. If you cast a spell with a spell slot of 1st level or higher and target an ally with the spell, that ally can use their reaction immediately after the spell to make 1 weapon attack against a creature of your choice that you can see. So there an ally is going to immediately get to use their reaction to make an additional attack. So that's just 1st level. That's really good. If the spell targets more than one ally, you choose the ally who can make the attack. Now we're just at level 2, Channel Divinity, Orders Demand. You can use your Channel Divinity to exert an intimidating presence over others. As an action, you present your holy symbol, and each creature of your choice that can see or hear you within 30 feet of you must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or be charmed by you until the end of your next turn or until the charmed creature takes any damage. You can also cause any of the charmed creatures to drop what they're holding when they fail the saving throw. So I assume what you're going to want them to drop would be a weapon. At level 6, they have Embodiment of the Law. You have become remarkably adept at channeling magical energy to compel others. If you cast a spell of the enchantment schools, notice it's limited to that school, using a spell slot of first level or higher, you can change the spell's casting time to one bonus action. So how about that? You can change that spell to a bonus action for this casting, provided the spell's casting time is normally one action. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, minimum of once, and you regain all expended uses after a long rest. So again, anything lets you cast more spells, always great. Now they have 8th level, Divine Strike. You gain the ability to infuse your weapon strikes with divine energy. Once on each of your turns, when you hit a creature with a weapon attack, you can cause the attack to deal an extra 1d8 psychic damage to the target, and at level 14 that goes up to 2d8 damage. Then we have at level 17, Order's Wrath. Enemies you designate for destruction wilt under the combined efforts of you and your allies. If you deal your divine strike damage to a creature on your turn, you can curse that creature until the start of your next turn. The next time one of your allies hits the cursed creature with an attack, the target also takes 2d8 psychic damage and the curse ends. You can curse a creature in this way only once per turn. So there's what they have, different abilities being added up to level 17. But remember we had a couple of new spells added here, like this Spirit Shroud, 3rd level Necromancy. So look at the casting time, one bonus action. Always good to see that bonus in there. Duration, concentration, up to 1 minute. You call forth spirits of the dead, which flit around you for the spell's duration. The spirits are intangible and invulnerable. Until the spell ends, any attack you make deals 1d8 extra damage when you hit a creature within 10 feet of you. This damage is radiant, necrotic, or cold, your choice when you cast the spell. Any creature that takes this damage can't regain hit points until the start of your next turn. So how about that? It's an interesting addition. In addition, any creature of your choice that you can see that starts its turn within 10 feet of you has its speed reduced by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. At higher levels, when you cast this spell using a spell slot of 4th level or higher, the damage increases by 1d8 for every 2 slot levels above the 3rd. So there's a new little addition to the spells there. And we've got another one right here, Summon Celestial. So notice this is a 5th level conjuration, takes 1 action. Concentration up to 1 hour here, and even got 500 gold piece requirements on the components. See a lot of that, of course, with clerics. You call forth the celestial spirit. It manifests in an angelic form in an unoccupied space that you can see within range. This corporeal form uses the celestial spirit stat block. When you cast the spell, choose Avenger or Defender, one or the other, because that's going to affect the actions. Your choice determines the creature's attack in its stat block. The creature disappears when it drops to 0 hit points or when the spell ends. The creature is an ally to you and your companions. In combat, the creature shares your initiative count, but it takes its turn immediately after yours. It obeys your verbal commands, no action required by you. If you don't issue any, it takes the dodge action and uses it to move to avoid danger. So we see that with other summons and such in this book here. At higher levels, when you cast this spell using a spell slot of 6th level or higher, use the higher level wherever the spell's level appears in the stat blocks. You'll see that depending on what spell slot you use to cast this, you'll get a stronger celestial spirit. So notice up here they're considered large. There's their armor class, 11 plus the level of the spell. So notice that's going to affect AC plus 2. Look at hit points here. 40 plus 10 for each spell level above 5th. So get that up to what, 80 there? Notice they also have a 40-foot flying speed. Stats are decent. Strength 16, Dex 14, Con 16, Wisdom 14, Intelligence 10, Charisma 16. They got damage resistance to Radiant. Can't be charmed or frightened. 60-foot dark vision and such there. Actions, multi-attack. The Celestial makes a number of attacks equal to half this spell's level rounded down. So think about you use an 8th level slot, this thing will get 4 separate attacks. So notice if you used Avenger, over here notice they tell you that when you cast the spell, choose Avenger or Defender. So if you chose Avenger, they get a Radiant Bow. Ranged weapon attack, your spell attack modifier to hit, range 150 or 600, one target, 2d6 plus 2 plus the spell level's radiant damage. So little extras right there. But then if you chose Defender, you get the Radiant Mace. Melee attack right here. Your spell attack modifier to hit, reach 5 feet, one target, hit will be 1d10 plus 3 plus the spell's level radiant damage, and the Celestial can choose itself or another creature it can see within 10 feet of the target. The chosen creature gains 1d10 temporary hit points. So you can dish out damage and give somebody some temporary hit points. And then lastly, it has Healing Touch once a day. The Celestial touches another creature, the target magically regains hit points up to 2d8 plus the spell's level. So you got all sorts of options right here. Again, that starts off as a 5th level conjuration spell, but it gets more powerful as you work your way up. So I hope you enjoyed this little video here on the Cleric. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.